It's that time again. How's it going, everybody? I just gotta press all the buttons. They're even laughing. We got some claps and stuff. Oh no, I'm behind the claps. Oh, that's why my camera was there. There we go. Nice. Got my claps where they need to be. Anyway, how is everybody? I hope you're doing well. If you've never been to a thumbnail live stream before, basically all you gotta do is there are two links in the description. One is for gaming channels, and when you click it, you'll see this, and you just fill out your info. And then one is for non-gaming channels, and if you click it, you'll see this, and you fill it out. And then the channels, they're just picked randomly. I don't get to pick them myself. So, well, I mean, I do pick them, but I use a little tool that mixes up all the numbers. So yeah, that's how this works. I can't play favorites. I can't just pick anybody. Yeah, so it's totally random. So everybody's like, hey, can you check out my thumbnail? I can, but you just gotta submit it. And if there was ever a time to submit, now is the time. Seriously, the beginning is the best time because there aren't very many submissions. All right, that's the time. All right. Anyway, we got a couple things to cover. Toenail reviews. What is going on today? This is not what I expected. All right, we got a couple things we're doing today. First, we're gonna start with a little contest, and I got a couple thumbnails that I picked out ahead of time. I got a lot of surprises, and then later we'll play the 2-second test as always. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with the contest that was going on in our Discord, which was called Game Stars. Game Stars, basically people were supposed to Photoshop me and Rob into a gaming style thumbnail, and we picked the top 5. And I'm going to go through all of them, but because I haven't seen these yet, so let's just roll with it, okay? Yeah, so this was the challenge, and these were the things that people could pick through. And if you're new to the community, we do these a lot, so you get a chance to show your chops off. And they're all like really good. But yeah, the reactions, I guess we were basing it off the reactions of who won. Yeah, we got a Five Nights at Freddy's, another Five Nights at Freddy's, Severlight. I'm pretty sure you got 5th. Very good, very good. I really like what I'm wearing. I don't know what it is, but yeah, okay. You would think that the Yu-Gi-Oh hair would be on me, but you know, it's better on Rob. That's pretty solid. I don't know how much it relates to the gaming aspect, but I like it. All right, Gauss, you were number 3. I think you got 3rd. This is solid. I really enjoy myself in a Minecraft situation. I don't play any of these games, so I don't know what to say. Derek, good to see you, man. Goblin, nice. I love the colors. Hyper. This one, Ludwig 6. There's an explanation here, but I don't want to go over it too much. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you got 4th. Nice job. I like the fact that you just see me right there. Nice. That's pretty cool. This one got 2nd, and I love I love Rob's nose. Like, it totally. What do you guys call these? Villagers, right? Is that you Minecrafters out there? Yeah, I love that. And I mean, I don't know, man. Even the colors on this one, I really dig. Uh, and great use of the subtle outer glow that just kind of looks like a little shadow outside of me and Rob. It really does make us pop off that background. So solid work there. Yeah, I love this. This is really, really cool. I would watch that video. And then the winner, we got creation, and we're playing Jenga of all things. It's gaming, right? Technically, it's gaming. So that's what's up. So being the winner, you got to pick a thumbnail that I would judge, and they chose this one. You were supposed to pick a thumbnail of your own from your own channel, and then I would like go through it and we would talk about what we could fix or whatever. But yeah, they chose this one first. Let me go ahead and add my own reaction here. Let me just throw a thumbs up there. Oh, I don't know what happened. Okay, well, whatever. Too many reactions. Wow, I've never seen that before. I can't react to it because there are too many reactions. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and react to Vicky's, I guess. Then. Nope. I don't know if I can. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Okay, there I am. There's my little thumbs up guy. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, let's pick this thumbnail apart real quick, and then we'll move on to the Twitter contest. First of all, I love that you were creative enough to. And he broke Discord. Yeah, I love that you were creative enough to not pick a video game. Which, yeah, that's really thinking outside of the blocks. Okay. Anyway, this is a solid use of depth because like there's me in the background and blurred, and I'm pretty sure you said something about doing it in the style of vidIQ, which it does look like that. You got that like dark blue and purple vibe that the old vidIQ thumbnails kind of had, and a lot of them still do. So yeah, I really dig that. You nailed it. Yeah, your use of strokes, it looks like you got a double stroke here, so you got a black and then a white. It really does make Rob pop off of that. By the way, that will pop off of any background, even if it is a lighter one. The white might blend in a little more, but a double stroke does work sometimes, and in this case it does. Honestly, I don't have too much to say bad about this. I think that because the hand is wrong. Oh, they're reaching with the wrong hand. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I think that the hand is wrong is hilarious to me because it would be that's his right hand, but his right arm is down. Yeah, that's great. I love that. So I don't know. People might pick that stuff apart, but it's one of those like lizard brain things. Where if you do something like slightly off, it kind of sticks with you instinctually. Like you don't know. I don't know. There's a theory that if you see some, that's why the what is it? The uncanny valley feeling. That's why they say that you know, things that are slightly off, it kind of makes you react in a way that might be a predator of some sort because of some instinctual brain stuff we got going on from way back when. But anyway, that's not the point. I love just little details like that. That was the point. Yeah, so I guess my favorite thing about this is the depth. The color's solid. If I were to change anything about it, I would remove me. But that wasn't the contest, so that wouldn't apply. But if I was gone and this Jenga was moved over just a little bit to the left, it would be a great thumbnail, honestly. If it was about Rob playing Jenga. Yeah, me in the background just kind of, it's like one more element that shouldn't be in like a really good thumbnail. But for the contest, you freaking nailed it. Great job, creation. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to this, the Twitter. Where is it? All right, so the Twitter contest, it looks like, okay, so every week we do this Twitter contest. Come here. Scroll up. What is going on here? Oh, I have to use my own. Yeah, so I guess I have to use my own Chrome profile because I'm logged into Twitter. It won't let you do anything on Twitter now unless you're logged in. Thanks, Elon. Let me just go back and grab the link here then. All right, so we do this this contest every week, and it's drop your thumbnail and title below, and and then we'll pick somebody to review on the Wednesday live stream. So this is the person that won this week: scariest enemies from every rare game on N64, which is whole lot of nostalgia. Sorry, I was looking for the actual video link. Gotta love rare games. Okay. So, this... Just want to make sure I'm sharing this correctly. There we go. So, this video performed really, really well for you. I mean, almost a 3.5 times outlier, which is... on the vidIQ tool, that just means it does like 3.5 times better than a normal video on this channel. And you can see that its line is just a little bit raised up here, which is it's always a good sign. Anyway, let's take a look at the thumbnail and see what we would want to change here. You know, are these rated? No. Scariest enemies. Okay, so it's just scariest enemies. I was thinking, like, if it was a rating system, of course a tier list might work better. But, dude, I don't know. I don't have much problem. Like, I don't have much problems. I don't have a problem with this, really. I guess if you were to A/B test something, maybe try, like, them spread out a little more. And the scariest enemies could probably be a bit smaller, right? So the enemies would be a bit more focused. And I would take the most popular enemy and put them, like, right in the center, and then kind of make a group behind them. So that's one way to go. And I wouldn't want to make it brighter because you want to go for scary. So that was a good call on your part. Yeah, I think the scariest enemies could stand to be a little bit smaller, and you could give a little bit more room to your enemies in general. The rareware thing, I know why it's in there, and I wouldn't remove it because that's like it. For those that recognize that icon, they're gonna see that on your thumbnail and be like, "Whoa, it's been a while since I've seen that." So yeah, you could move that into like a top or bottom corner, not the right bottom corner for obvious reasons, because the little time box that appears right here. By the way, anybody never put anything important in your bottom right corner of your thumbnail, because that time box it covers a good bit of that corner. So yeah, that's kind of what I would try to do as an A/B, but like, don't mess with success, right? So don't be afraid to try stuff new, but I would definitely leave the original in an A/B test if you do, because it's working for you. Anyway, yeah, that's what I would do. And then I went ahead and picked a couple things ahead of time that I just wanted to talk about, and then we're going to get into this stuff. It's not going to take long. I just wanted to point out a couple things. First, actually, no, I just wanted to point out one thing. So, this, I picked a channel a while back ahead of time and did some stuff in Photoshop, and it was a non-gaming channel, so I decided to pick a gaming channel. And this one was Beauty of Gaming, and it's sunny, beautiful walk down the river, Red Dead Redemption 2 free roam gameplay. Okay, and basically, I looked into the niche itself of free roam, and they did what everybody else sort of does, but there's one key difference, and the problem is that yours doesn't stick out as much as theirs, just because it's not saturated enough. Now I'll explain real quick. I actually made you a Milanote thing here, and I closed it, but that's okay. I'll open it back up. It's all good. Don't worry. No worries. Man, it sure takes a long time to load this stuff. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here is... Let me just move that away. Oh, man, come on. Okay, here we go. All right, so here is your submission right over here. And then I went through and I started looking at these other free roam gameplays. And, like, you chose a big, like, a wide... overlook, which was like a good call because that's what works in this, and so did they. And this one, I'm pretty sure, ended up getting like 76,000 views or something like that. And you can tell the difference in color between yours and theirs. Now, like, yours is 4K and theirs is 4K, but theirs looked so much sharper for some reason. So what I did was I took yours and I decided to make it as similar to theirs as I could, which is a really easy thing to do for something like this that doesn't take any photo manipulation. So this is what I turned it into, and I'll show you how I did that real quick. So I added a couple things in Photoshop, but it's just as easy to add on your phone. But let me just do it real quick for this right here. In Photoshop, I use something called Camera Raw, just because it's a lot quicker to be able to access sharpness and all that stuff. So I'll just do that real quick. And yeah, the reason that I had this camera set over here, this one, is because what I originally wanted to do is just show you how to do it on a phone, but the screen doesn't show up very well on the Elgato. Like, you can't really see the colors, so whatever. That was the plan, but whatever. Anyway, here we go. This is what I would do to kind of spice this up. So first we want a little bit of color, so I'm going to go for vibrance, and that usually helps out the blue, and then I'm going to go for saturation. That helps out the overall color, okay? And then I would add a little bit of texture and clarity. I don't know how many phones have the clarity knob, but it's just like one of those things you just play with it until it looks okay to you. There's no science to this. It's just like, just play with buttons until something looks good. And then I definitely will sharpen it a bit. And once you start to sharpen it, you'll start to see a lot of these random like artifacts, like these little lines everywhere, in which case the noise reduction helps. Now, when you do it on a phone, I don't know if you can do noise reduction depending on what phone you have. So you might just want to not take the sharpness up so much. But yeah, that's kind of how I did that, and you end up with a much better looking thumbnail. And of course, in Photoshop, you can actually isolate certain colors and really bring them out, like the greens and the blues and stuff like that. So that's how I did that, and you end up with a much brighter, sharper picture. Okie doke. All that aside, we're going to go ahead and start picking channels now, like we're supposed to. Okay? Okay. Just close that. And we're going to start with the non-gaming. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. All right, number 37. Sam Weimer. Weimer? All right. How to easily record great vocals at home. Oh, man. I remember building my first vocal booth in my closet, throwing up blankets. All right. So I'm curious if you did have an ISO booth in some way. Oh no, you're getting into the good stuff, man. EQ, compression, all that stuff. Nice. Okay, cool. Oh, damn, you even went into Melodyne? All right, so I really like this. You got microphones, which it's pretty obvious. Like, okay, this is about singing. I'm curious what other channels do something like this that perform really well. How to easily record great vocals at home. All right, let's check that out. So this technique I use a lot to just kind of get ideas. So the topic is how to record good vocals, recording vocals at home, something like that. Home. So I want to see what really pops out to people. Now, obviously, you want a microphone as your imagery in there somewhere. The act of singing is like, it's necessary in the thumbnail because, yeah, so you definitely need yourself in there, or at least a person. Normally, a lot of people will throw themselves in there just to do it, but this definitely has a reason. So, recording studio quality vocals at home, studio pro quality. Okay, how to easily record great vocals at home. Okay, it seems like the word quality does help a little bit. Best vocal tips, 248,000. Okay, do this first. It's kind of nice. It's almost like, okay, well, man, do this first is a really, really smart psychology move, because I want to click it, and it makes me not want to watch other videos, because it's like, well, if I don't do that first, maybe I'm messing up any other tips that I come across. So that's really smart. This do this first idea. You don't have to quote him exactly. It's just like let that roll around in your noggin a little bit and see where it takes you. Do this first. It's just like it's a nice. I wouldn't say it's a trick. It's just like a nice CTA. I do think that the act of recording could help, or something in, man, yeah, I think the act of recording does help a lot. So like that one and this guy, it looks like he's recording. Oh, that's a playlist. This guy is at the mic. So yeah, I think these are all pretty good, man. I really like yours though. Maybe if you're gonna A/B test something, do something a little more technical that that will kind of make people say, okay, I have to click this thumbnail to understand what's going on there. So this is pretty general. Like, okay, it's microphones, help me. But if there's like, give them a little preview of what value you have in your video. I'm trying to look for it. Hold on. If you give them a little preview of what value you have in your video, something that they don't know, then that might make them want to click to understand what's going on. Okay, positioning, gain. So this right here, I don't know how many people know what auto-tune looks like, but that is kind of interesting. Yeah, if you had at a mic in a background like this of some sort, that might be a good A/B test, I would think, because you're just kind of showing them the process. I also think that if there's something free, like I use Reaper to do all my vocals. If you say all of this stuff is free, now Melodyne I know isn't free, but if you like show certain things, like the EQ comes with Audacity or whatever, that like this is free. Like these kinds of things, people will want to know that. Like, oh wow, like this guy is giving us a bunch of tools ahead of time. So that's kind of where I would go with this. I really like your thumbnail already, so I would definitely A/B test it rather than like change it. But yeah, I would guess this Edward Smith one is the strongest one. That one that says do this first, and it's not that it's the greatest thumbnail. It's just like that. The psychology of it is solid. So yeah, I would try to think of how you can get somebody to click in that way. Okay. All right, let's move over to the gaming real quick. Number 13. Where is it? There it is. Number 13. I went through some of the gaming a little bit, but it seems like we got a lot more. I played The Sims 2 PSP, and it gave me existential dread. Okay. All right, this is a nice outlier for them. 12 times. That's 12 times better than their normal stuff. 23,000 views. Let's see what we got here. All right, so this is a little more difficult because it seems like you've got your own style. So I don't know how much I'm gonna have to offer that you would be able to take into account. Yeah, I figured you drew all of these. Okay, so yeah, these are solid. Let's take a look at the popular real quick. Oh, never mind. I guess we can't sort. So Sims 2 Castaway, that's pretty good. Sims 2 PSP. Man, I don't really know how to I don't know how to improve this kind of thing besides just giving you another concept, which it could just be like you holding a PSP, like totally just heartbroken or about life. Just, I don't know, like something really something really dark, and then like right above your head you have the little glowing the glowing green crystal. Like it is the only source of light in that room. You're holding the PSP. I guess that would be one way to go about it. Yeah, but just because like this cow and this guy and these people, I don't know them so much as like I assume because you're closest, like you're the main character. So if it was only one person in it playing The Sims PSP, Gave me, yeah. If you're the only person in it, then I would try something like that. Of course, you could just search on YouTube. Gave me existential dread with the little space before it, right? I can't remember how you do it, but it's something with quotes or underlines or underscores or something. But gave me existential dread. To search that and see what kind of pops up. Kind of Google around, and whatever imagery you can get from that, like whatever feeling you can evoke of that, I think it might help a little bit. This one came after your biggest one, so that could have helped a little bit, but dude, I still think that your thumbnail is solid and your style is solid. So yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. Sometimes I can't improve stuff, so I'll just pitch you another concept in case you want to go for that. That's all I got for that one. Okay. Thank you for submitting. All right, we're moving back to non-gaming. Number 17. 2 feet outdoors. Okay. So earlier I kind of stopped what I was saying. And I said, oh, you know what? I only took a look at one video, which was the Red Dead Redemption one. I actually looked at 2. I just didn't want to overload right at the beginning. But this was another one I looked at, and it was tough. I worked on this a little bit. Artie, I will go back to gaming here in a second. It goes back and forth. I promise you, it's all good. Okay, so yeah, this one was really tough because I love the thumbnail, right? So 2 feet outdoors, I found an abandoned boat and decided to camp in it. And they just released this 20 hours ago. So I was kind of surprised at the low views because it's already interesting to me. And yeah, it's a solid picture. I mean, it's an abandoned boat. I love the drone angle. I hope it's a drone. Maybe he threw his phone up and it was like on video and he just got the perfect picture. I doubt it. But yeah, I think it's solid. It's abandoned. There was like a little bit of me wanted more perspective of where it is. And now that I'm looking at it, I realize that this is concrete. I thought it was like some sort of desert or abandoned beach, but now I see that that's concrete. Because when I did my own version of this, I was generating stuff like sand and whatnot. So let me make sure I still got this right. All right, so yeah, I wanted to see if I could get a little more context of like the beach that it was on. So yeah, just a heads up, I did generate a beach. And then yeah, I'll just show you what I did. So I wanted to get a little more context to zoom out, but I didn't want to lose you. So I was thinking, oh man, well, maybe if I do this little like circle thing and keep them in there, that could work. And then I stopped working on this. I would have put a drop shadow on that. But yeah, that's one way to go with this. I think yours is better. Honestly, this almost complicates it a little bit. And I just did this because I wanted to do it. I was excited to play around with it. As you can see, I took your original picture and zoomed in. And this right here is actually all of these little things put together. Like this is all AI generated. Here is your original picture. And yeah, that's kind of where I went with that. So I know that that's kind of just like a little speed round of of how I did that, but it's nothing too complicated. I just extended it out to see what kind of thing I could do. And yeah, I think I used the same arrow that you did, I believe. Oh yeah, and also in your original picture, I got rid of the abandoned and the arrow just by AI generating over it, which is pretty simple. So yeah, dude, I didn't really have much to offer this except the idea of giving them more perspective of why you're there before they see the title. Now, if I'm not going to go back to it yet, but does anybody remember why he's on the boat? Because right now, I don't know. But he's on the boat because he camps in it, and he explores and he camps in the boat. So if you showed a little bit of context of you camping somehow in it, maybe a different version of like a different thumbnail that you can A/B test, where you're actually camping in it. And I went and I looked at abandoned stuff, and there was one that it was okay. Like, I didn't really like it, but it did give me the idea of, okay, there's a little more context in it. It was abandoned zoo, and I don't know if I saw it on here or not. Explored, I I explored the abandoned zoo. Yeah, it was that one. So it just says abandoned zoo, and there's like a gorilla in the background or whatever. It's like, all right, so abandoned zoo could be in in or abandoned boat could be in the thumbnail if you wanted to, but if you just had a different angle, which kind of sucks because the drone angle is so cool, but if you had a different angle where it was straight on and you could actually see your camp inside the boat, and then it's like, if it was straight on, if you camped on top of the boat and the angle was straight on and you could see you on top of it looking at the camera, and then you had this really really wide view of what was behind you, and if it was in the city, you could probably get rid of that through Photoshop. But yeah, that would just be another way to go with that. That's what I would do. That said, this was just another one that I'm like, I don't really have much to add because it's already good. Like, if I was putting out a video like this, I would have whipped up this same thumbnail and moved on. So yeah, that's what I got. By the way, 2 Feet Outdoors, this channel is incredible. He explores all of these things, and yeah. The last one we took a look at, exploring NYC's creepy Forbidden Island. Yeah, that was really, really cool. So, yep. Anyway, let's move back to gaming. And I need a drink of water. Okay. Got some issues up in the chat there. Number 53. Woo! That's much louder than I thought it would be. All right, JJQ Phaser. It's gonna be Minecraft. All right, we got a guess here. It's not Minecraft. It's Fortnite. Minecraft, Fortnite. Five Nights at Freddy's or Roblox. It's always one of those. All right, the Epic Chainsaw Only Challenge in Fortnite. Chainsaw only. Okay. All right, we can work with that. All right, so from what we've known before about featuring one particular weapon in Fortnite, you did the right thing, because this is kind of, what was the last one we saw? It might have been 2 weeks ago. It was all about a certain SMG, and it was like basically this same layout of a couple weapons, and then the SMG was gold, or it was like the one weapon that was featured. So yeah, chainsaw only, cool. All right, so you got Wolverine, and you've got chainsaws. Then you got Wolverine holding a chainsaw. Then you've got more chainsaws, and then you've got an arrow, which is like, okay, yeah, he's holding the chainsaw. We get that. Then you've got you, and all of this is okay, but I think you got like one element too many. And let's just take a look and see what we got with chainsaws. Chainsaw, Fortnite. We'll do chainsaw only because I'm sure there are others of these. Chainsaw only. Okay, this is the kind of thing that I was thinking. How many? 241,000. Okay, yeah, but they got a million, over 1 million subscribers. So, let's filter this a little bit. I try to. Oh, I can't do that. That's right. I can't do that here. I was thinking of a different tool. I would like to filter like under 100,000 subscribers. All right, so it looks like your thumbnail is solid. This one was, I guess it's totally copied off of this one. This is kind of what I was thinking, where it's like it's featured as the one thing and then maybe some text. But yeah, you could do something like that. I think yours is okay. I just think that the Wolverine thing might be throwing it for a loop there just a little bit. But it's Fortnite, so I don't think so. Maybe it's because he's in front of this this chainsaw display here a little bit. That could be. I'm trying to be nitpicky here, dude, because it's a good thumbnail. Like for Fortnite, this is a great thumbnail, honestly. You could have the word only in there. That might help a little bit because it's pretty easy to understand, chainsaw only. I would Yeah, I would experiment just moving the elements you have around, and also do one without your face. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be in there because it's a Let's Play and you are the main character of that. So it makes sense that you're in there. I would just be curious to see what would happen if you weren't. Like, sometimes a face might add too much information to what could just easily be understood by 3 elements. So yeah, I would definitely try one without. Yeah, try one without your face, and maybe only featuring, like, if you only featured Wolverine holding the chainsaw and then it said chainsaws only, then that would be like chainsaws only over here on the right, and then Wolverine holding the chainsaw on the left. Background is fine. It looks kind of Fortnite-y anyway. That might be a pretty solid thumbnail in itself because it would be so easy to understand. I would try something like that. There's just a little too much going on. Like this guy's, there's too much going on there too. I almost have to ignore the background. But the 3 elements that pop in the front, you know, you got a chainsaw, and then guy. And that works. This one is sort of the same. Chainsaw, 97 viewers, guy. But yeah, I guess that background is pretty popular. But anyway, hopefully that helps you a little bit. That's what I would try. All that said, what you have right now is totally fine. It's good. Okay, moving back to non-gaming. Number 95, one of the recent submissions. Okay, doke. Bum 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 ba dum. T71 coding. Sorry if I misspelled that. It's just a little hard to understand. T71 coding, I think. Unless the 7 is supposed to be a Z. T-zone, it could be. Anyway, T71 coding. Simple calculator in Python. Okay, this is fine. All right, so what I would do is feature a calculator, not a laptop. Also, the laptop itself kind of gets lost in the darkness. Even if you have this little outline around it, the keys don't pop out enough for me to understand that it's a laptop at first glance. So, but yeah, like I said, I would get rid of the laptop and I would do a calculator instead. And as for the glow on the font, it almost is just too much for this situation. And it might just be because your thumbnail itself is so dark. But let's whip one up real quick just to make it easy. So your thumbnail was basically like a little piece of code at the top, and then it was something like this, I'm pretty sure. So we can do that. And the code at the top, I think, is fine. Makes sense to me. So all we would need to do is just throw that in there. It's going to be blurry on this one, but yeah, you get the idea. And then we just need a little calculator. I'll just Google one real quick. Calculator icon, something that fits your situation. What would go good over that blue? I guess yellow would really pop over that blue. Something like this would be fine. I was thinking about making it more of a calculator, but I knew that the yellow would pop over. So that would probably catch my eye a little bit. I would try that or a calculator. This I don't know. I recognize it as a calculator, but because you're making it on Python, I don't necessarily know if it's appropriate. Anyway, it's just the colors that I like. And then we just toss some letters in here. So simple calculator in Python. And then, of course, we're just gonna make it bigger, and it doesn't need anything special because it is already so bright over that blue that I'd be fine with the way it looks. So this kind of looks professional to me. Hold on. Let me change that font to something a little more Python-y. I mean, the font was okay. It just didn't seem to fit for me. You know what? I probably shouldn't waste too much time on this. Let's just go bold Calibri, I guess. It's a little more rounded. It looks like the Python logo to me, like the way that Python is written. Okay, and then I would just make this a little bit smaller to match the size of the text. That's personal preference, because I like to keep things a little, you know, a little nice. And then, if you could, I would probably get like a really, really sharp image of this. I took a picture of your video, so it's like super blurry up here. But yeah, that would be super easy for you to actually just get a screen cap of your screen and put it up there. But yeah, that's kind of what I would do. And you could have a little bit more code in the back. Like if we looked up Python code, I don't necessarily know if it's going to be blue in the background or not, because everybody kind of writes it differently. But just consider this an example and like try to memorize what this is or what this looks like, because this is kind of what I was thinking. So you got this code in the background, and then we'll just match the color, and that's kind of what I would do. So I'm just gonna up the brightness until it sort of looks the same, so I'm not taking too much time. And by the way, I never know what I'm doing until I start messing with knobs and stuff, and then it like looks close enough, and then I'm fine with that. So that's what professionals do. They just mess with stuff until it works. All right. So anyway, then I would blur that code just a little bit to where it's like somewhat recognizable. Something like that. Yeah. All right. That's what I would do. Now that the code's there, I'd probably add just a slight drop shadow on this icon. But yeah, that's how I would go about this. That looks professional to me. If I was looking how to build like a calculator in Python, this is the one that I would click for sure. Okay. All right. Let's move back to gaming, right? Gaming? No, we're going to do questions soon. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're doing questions soon. Okay. Okie doke. Let's move back to gaming. Should have not clicked it. Gaming? Come on. I don't know why I have those open still. All right. Get random number. Number 29. Yeah, 29. PCZM. Thank you. Somebody said nice Photoshop skills. Yeah, I appreciate it. I learn as I go. Half the time I don't know what I'm doing until it's already done. And that's the way to learn. Okay. We've got... Is this a different language? Or is this something that I'm too old to understand? Okay, I played 100 of Roblox hardest obbies. Okay, so I'm too old to understand. So obby 2 on the left, it looks easy, and then obby 98 on the right, I guess, is hard. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm assuming that people who play Fortnite, it's all the same to me. People who play Roblox know what this is. Yeah, and definitely, because, like, look at the amount of views. 17,000. Okay, so, based on aesthetic alone, like, since you understand the concept, and you understand the concept better than I do, I think what you got is solid. Obviously, it worked. So, as far as aesthetic-wise, if obby 2 is supposed to be easier than obby 98, then you need to flip these two colors. So obby 2 should be like yellow to greenish, and it would pop off better than this dark red. And then the dark red would pop off because of this like light purple. So I would switch those, and if you wanted to keep the colors on there. Yep. I mean, honestly, that's probably what I would. That's probably all I would do for this one. I mean, you already have the concept down, so yeah, that's all I would change. It's just the normal YouTube stuff that I see. Red is bad, green is good, green is easy, red is hard, that sort of thing. But if Obby98 is easier than this one, which I really doubt, then I would just switch the images and everything. If 98 is easier somehow than 2, like in golf, then yeah, that's what I would do. I think you understand what I'm saying. You got a tier list in there too. That's pretty sweet. So if you were doing, man, I think if all of these like symbols and stuff are recognizable to Roblox players, then I would also try to include the tier list in like an A/B test, just for fun. I mean, you submitted because you wanted advice, so that is some advice. I would honestly leave it alone and move on to another video, and I think it's really cool. But if you wanted to try something else, you could focus on a tier list version. Like strategy-wise, I probably wouldn't, because what you got is already doing well. Yeah, so that's what I got. Yeah, just a little bit of color switching, and if you could get a sharper version of those pictures, that would be pretty helpful, I think. You know, when it comes to games, if it's like slightly blurry, then I'll want to watch the sharper thumbnail. It's like I just want to click on the one that has like higher resolution. Okay, so questions is basically just type hashtag question and then ask your question, and then Claudia, our AI mod here, will just bring up random questions and I will answer them. Okay? Okay. Thank you so much. Let's make it happen, Claudia. Does the file name of your thumbnail matter in the algorithm? Not at all. I finally figured out where this whole like naming thing started, and well, I don't know where it started, but I know that Ludwig was somebody that said it way back when, and that was never, nobody ever said that. I'm pretty sure that never came from YouTube anyway. But I saw somebody talking about it, and then they were like, I heard it from Ludwig, and I'm like, oh, so yeah, that was a while ago. The whole naming thing, it doesn't matter. What? Imagine if you were building a platform, why would you ever even consider that? Like, that makes no sense, this whole like hidden lore of YouTube. It's just, that would, yeah, that makes no sense. So no, it doesn't. Sorry, I didn't know I had a rant prepared for that one. Next, okay. Is it normal for your impressions to spike only late at night? Dude, mine do. I live in the Eastern Standard Time, and my videos will just kind of die out during the day, and then at nighttime they'll spike. So I would assume it's normal depending on where like your core audience is. And maybe my core audience, they stay up late like I do and they watch YouTube, or I don't know. Maybe my core audience is in Europe, and it's like evening time for them, and that's why it spikes at midnight for me, or whatever. Maybe I have that backwards. No, I would. So it would be morning for Europe, and it's like super late for me, and yeah, so that could be why. Like if you live in Ohio, and like your core audience is in Germany, then at like 2 a.m. you're going to get your spikes when everybody's waking up in Germany. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense a little bit. It's totally normal to have different it's different for everybody. Boom. What do you think of the AI feature in Photoshop? I think it's mostly bad with weird results. I think if you're trying to generate things without having something to go off of, I think it's useless. Like, I would never use just an AI generated only thing, but I use it all the time when I'm trying to extend images, or if there's like something that I want to remove from an image. Like if you just click to remove something, that's AI. That's not just a tool Photoshop has. So this whole thing was that I was doing, it's AI. Most of it's AI. The only thing that's not AI is this tiny little piece that was his original thumbnail. And so it's like, dude, like hating AI, I understand why people don't like it. I find it extremely useful in the right circumstances. Now, if I were to just have a blank canvas and say, generate a man on a boat, and then it's like, I would never use that. That's not like it doesn't look real. Anyway, that's how I feel about it. It can be helpful in the right circumstances. I have a video. Old Man Gab, hey! I have a video that's over 2 years old and it's still getting views. Would updating to a new thumbnail help or hurt the views? Whew. Oh man, that's an interesting question. If it's, I guess it depends on how many views you're getting. I would say if the thumbnail idea you have is going to represent the video better, or you think that you got better at making thumbnails, then surely, like, it's the topic that people are really, really interested in. So if you think that the thumbnail doesn't represent it enough, then for sure, like, it's still got potential. People are still coming to it. It'll probably put life back into that thing. But if you're trying to come up with like something clever, then maybe not, right? So I would definitely have to see that the exact circumstance of what you're talking about. If you're in the Discord, just can you message me, because you're in our communities a lot and you're talking. I would like to see if that situation, if I have different advice once I see it. But if not, then it's okay. Yeah. So if you're trying to be clever and come up with something, then probably not. But if, yeah, like I said, all right, you got it. Yeah, cool. It's just John Scott. That's my name in there. That's my name on Discord. Okie doke, vidIQ on Discord. At what point would you recommend searching for an editor? When you don't have time to edit, I guess. So I began editing everything for me, and all of my original videos on vidIQ, like my first 5 or 6, I edited them all myself. And I eventually found that I had more stuff to do. I didn't have time to edit, and it was a really tough thing for me to just like give my footage to somebody else, especially since like everybody was saying how great my editing was and they loved my editing, and I was worried that something would hurt this situation that I had going on, and it didn't at all. It was like it was really tough for me to wrap my head around, but I got lucky because I had to do it for my job. And so after I learned that I could let go of this situation, it wasn't long before I got my own editor on my own stuff, and he kind of waited until I had an idea of what I wanted to do with my channel. But that aside, I had to get the editor for my own stuff because I have a full-time job, and if I want to put out videos weekly or bi-weekly, the only way I'm going to have enough time to do it and the videos are going to be good quality enough is if I have an editor backing me up. You know, I can do a little bit and he can take care of the rest. So it depends on what you want your schedule to be, how many videos you want to get out in a certain amount of time, how consistent you want to be with it. That's if you wanted, if you don't have a certain consistent schedule that you got going on, then save your money. You know, do it yourself. But if you really want to give this thing a shot and consistently put out content in a reasonable amount of time, and you're ready to do that, then look for one now. Where would be a good place to look for an editor? I know that YouTube has this YouTube Jobs website. The way that I found mine was I came up with like, I pitched the price and everything. A lot of jobs will just say, you know, email for more details or DM for more details, and I hate that BS. So I just said, all right, look, here's my budget, here's what I can do, and we can build it up, and the channel's already monetized, and then I'll give you more as we go on and all this stuff. And I got a ton of responses. I still get emails to this day, but I took all of them down once I finally found the guy that I wanted. And so I posted on Reddit. I posted on a Discord that allowed for jobs. There was 2 Discords actually that I did that on. Let me take a look at them real quick. The first one was now I don't remember. It wasn't NewTube. I think it might have been, I don't know. It might have been Editor Clubhouse. I don't think it was NewTubers, but but yeah, there was one that just said jobs. Maybe it was, yeah. Look for a Discord that allows that has a jobs channel, you know, or a commission channel. That's a good place to do it. If you put it out on Reddit and just say like, hey, DM me on Reddit or here's my email, you'll get a ton of responses. But make sure you put that you want to see their portfolio, you want to see examples of their work, because that was the make or break for me. Like if they said, well, I'll do it for free and I just want to see, I'm like, dude, I don't want to waste my time. You know, don't waste your time. Just like make sure that they send you stuff that they've done. That's the biggest step you need to remember. Whew. At what point should you switch from in-game characters to your face? I assume this is about gaming thumbnails and not editing. I don't think that there's a good answer for this. Since you have the ability to do A/B testing, thank you, Claudia. Since you have the ability to do A/B testing, do both and see what kind of results you get. And if one performs better than the other one, then go for that. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. There's really no set rule on that. So that's, if I were to start a gaming channel, that's what I would do. What is a good thumbnail software for beginners? Canva. You can, yeah, Canva I would say is the easiest for beginners, but then if you want to go a little more in depth, you could check out photop.com. Like P is like the vegetable. It's basically just a clone of Photoshop. Then there's, I don't know, I've never played with Affinity. I don't know how great it is for beginners. But GIMP is an open source free version that has a lot of stuff that Photoshop does. It's just kind of called different tools. So if you start on GIMP, I recommend sticking with it. A lot of people really like GIMP. So yeah, those are some things you can do that doesn't cost a whole lot of money. I stuck with Photoshop because I just got used to it after a while. I originally was a GIMP user in my high school days, but yeah, I like Photoshop. I know what everything means, and like universally, the tools in Photoshop are called the same in a lot of other softwares too, and that's just what I use. So if you plan to make a career out of it, I would recommend Photoshop, but I don't support a lot of the things Adobe does. It's just what I know how to use, and like a man's got to eat, right? So that's where I would go with that. Anyway, Canva. Just start with Canva. See how it does for you. If I put plain text on plain surface for audio, if I just put plain text on plain surface for audiobook channel, can it work just because nobody does such things anymore? An audiobook channel. If you're writing, I think you're talking about thumbnails. If it's just text on a plain background for an audiobook, that's okay, but I would probably use the book's cover. Like, maybe the text could say audiobook or like the title, but I mean, if you're reading, like, hold on. Yeah. If you're doing an audiobook of Steal Like an Artist, which I don't know I don't know if you can do that, but I would definitely have the cover on it. If you're doing an audiobook of something you've written, I would try to design a cover, because I think that would stick out more than just plain text. But I couldn't imagine it would hurt. I have somebody that writes their own stuff, and he does voiceovers and he does audiobooks, and he's a great storyteller, and he makes great looking images that would kind of match the vibe or the story that he's talking about. So we've also had horror storytellers in here that tell scary stories, and they put scary pictures on their thumbnails, and it performs well. So hopefully that advice helps you out a little bit. Oh man. Okie doke. How to stand out as a paraplegic fish keeper in the fish tuber genre without being cheesy about being crippled, or should I even mention it until I get a bunch of comments asking? That's tough, because you could go like having a disability. It's like a marketing angle for sure. I'm not trying to be like super sensitive. I'm sure you're sick of people walking on eggshells around you. So like it's obviously a marketing angle that you could go for if you're in the image. But I think that that's probably what you mean by cheesy, and that's the kind of thing that I would avoid too. I don't. I think it would probably do better marketing wise if it was mentioned. I just think that's just how the world works. That's how the internet works. People want to see people overcome challenges like this. You know, it's inspiring, frankly. And so I think it would perform better being obvious about it. But if that doesn't make you happy, then don't do it, for real. Like that's people. We gotta do this stuff to make ourselves happy, and if we're just doing it to get subscribers or make money or whatever, it's like, it's a job. Like, it's fine, you can do that, but I guess you have to ask yourself what you want out of it. So yeah, that's that's kind of my opinion on it. But you could just do regular pictures and yeah, it would be fine. It's just I do think that would perform better. It just depends on if you consider that cheesy or not. Hopefully that helps a little bit, man. That's a really tough question. When should I add custom elements for no commentary gaming? Custom elements. I don't know what that means. Like on your thumbnail, I would just like, to make it super simple, look up the, okay, so I know your channel. I remember we looked at the 3-part one last time. Look at other channels that are doing similar stuff to yours, okay? And then if you see other elements on theirs that make their thumbnails more interesting, then experiment with it. Try it, you know? Don't copy theirs exactly, but yeah, I would recommend doing that. I know that you're playing Modern Warfare, and it's an older game, and if you go and you look at that niche, it's pretty saturated. I don't think there's much you can do as a no commentary gamer to stick out with that game, and I'm just being honest. But if you wanted to stick with it, I would recommend like focusing more on making the quality of those images sharper, because that's really what I see in that niche. Because I know the plain images that you've got, that's what they're doing. So if you see in your niche other people doing things and it's like working for them, then that's the time to experiment immediately. Okay, cool. What happens if a thumbnail's going under A/B testing gets picked for review? I don't know. I mean, I can't pick which one shows up. So a random one shows up, and that's the one that I judge. That's the one we talk about. Yeah, I wish there was an easier way. I'm new to Photoshop. Any recommendations on how to clean up photos and make them more clear? Camera raw is kind of intimidating. Camera raw, that for real, dude. It is so. Here, I'll just show you. Like, you're on Photoshop. We're just gonna make this as simple as possible. What happened? There it is. This is super easy. Okay, first, what you want to do is right-click and convert it to a smart object, because then you can undo things and you can adjust them again. If it's not a smart object, when you put an effect on it, it's forever. And you have to undo it, and then you got to do everything all over again. So smart objects, you can, like, it's not destructive is what it is. Okay, then you go up to the camera raw, and I'll just show you what I focus on. It's super easy. And like I said, you just play with the knobs, okay? You go to light and you mess with exposure. Okay, that looks good enough, and then mess with contrast. That looks good enough, and then that's what I'll do. I'll mess with light, and then I'll mess with these two, vibrance and saturation, sometimes. I'll mess with these three to make things sharper, and then I'll skip everything to detail, and I'll do sharpening to make things sharper and noise reduction to get rid of all the noise. And that is all I do. If I want to make certain colors stand out, I'll use this color mixer and play around with the knobs. But yeah, those are the three things that I mess with. Light, color, effects, detail. Play with the knobs, man. That's all. It is really, really simple. All you got to do is just mess with it. Yeah. I mean, you could have a different software, but yeah. It's simple, I promise. Just play around with knobs and see what you like. Where would you go for ideas for a thumbnail if there's a lack of idea on YouTube? Ideas for thumbnails. Look up advertisements, billboards. That's where I go sometimes if I'm like, you know, there's not really much in this niche. I'm wondering, what works for like magazine ads or billboards. Billboards are easy because they're like the same shape. They're the same ratio as a thumbnail, so you can really see their composition. Earlier, I was watching, yesterday I was watching this show called Limitless. It was like a continuation of the movie, but it's a TV show. And like one of the last episodes had this great composition of a lady on the right side, and then like this text popped over on the other side, and I'm like, wow, like she's not even on a third, she's further over. I would like to try that with a thumbnail, and that's, you just kind of get ideas wherever you go. But yeah, I usually draw them on paper first just to kind of play around and get the idea out. So yeah, there's a lot of places. Just keep your mind open. It got canceled? Oh, crap. Okay, well, I just finished it. Is what it is. All right, it is time for... Let me shut this banner off here. Where is it? It's somewhere. I don't... What is happening? How do I shut this banner off? Help! There we go. All right. Now it's time. Now it's time, y'all. No, that's not right. Bam. It's time for the 2-second test. It's time for the 2-second test. All right. I want to make sure that that this effect works because I don't know what to do. This is gonna be crazy for a second. All right. Just for a second. I guess not. I don't know. Yeah, it's showing the wrong thing. There we go. All right, now I got it. Okay, so basically how the 2-second test works is I show you a thumbnail for 2 seconds and you have to guess what it is about. All right, we ended with gaming, so we're moving back to non-gaming. Cool. All right, here we go. Bum, 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 bow, bow, doo-ba-doop, boop-ba-doop. Okay. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. What is that thumbnail about? What is it? Let me know. Am I off the screen yet? Okay. Potato. All right. How to make slime. Cursed snowman. I can kind of see that. Animation. I'm getting that. My childhood. Okay, somebody's getting nostalgic here. Gaming. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. It does kind of look like that. This one is gardening. It's kind of niche in a way that I don't think many people will get. So it's just like a show. Stand 1995 fan-made winter episode. Oh, okay, so you made this. Or somebody made this. Hold on. Pat and Matt. What is this? Pat and Matt. Is it it's an old TV show, I guess. Dude, I don't know what to do with something like this. It's a doll? Okay. Okay, so this is cool. It's really, really unique, like in the way of it's just like this is so. I don't know what to say. I got no words, but I can see what really pops out to people in its mid-action shots. So you have these clay characters, and you have them what looks like they're loading a cannon, and that gets my attention a little bit. You have them in front of a city. You kind of have these, like, the more situational they are, the more they kind of pop out to me. Now this one was more recent, so I think that it looks like he's puking in a trash can, but that's not the one that I just saw. You must be A/B testing. So yeah, this puking in a trash can one really sticks out to me. Okay, now it's showing more. So I like that one because it's there's like more of an action going on. That's also interesting. It looks like he's cutting fabric. This one, not so much. It's just like, okay, I don't know what I'm looking at, but this is definitely like, this is a guy. I can see that. This one, I can kind of see a hand, so there's some context there too. I think that's what you'll probably have to focus on, is just making sure that the images like give the most context of the situation and pick the most active situation. I think that'll help you there. Okay, that was interesting. I didn't know how to go about that one. Okay, we're doing gaming now. Number 67. Okay, that's a live stream. We don't do live streams. Number 76. Actually, now that I think about it, go back to that 67. Okay, so I say we don't do live streams because sometimes the thumbnail, it just won't show up for us. But, yeah, it won't show up for us. It's just because the chat thing shows up instead. Okay, whatever. All right, we are doing this one. All right. Ooh, we got to zoom way out. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, what do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think? Fortnite. We got Fortnite. 104 Fortnite challenge. I'm seeing a lot of Fortnite stuff. Night Fort. How I got way too many videos on a Fortnite video. Fort Bite. Mr. Beast type of thumbnail. I guess they're talking about the face. Headphones. Popular Fortnite video. Channel promoting how to. Don't know. Free Fire. Okay. All right. So this is what we got. I don't understand what's going on in it, really. It looks like this dude is talking about this guy who got 104 million views on this game, and I'm not sure it's Fortnite. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So, Free Fire. The person that said Free Fire, I was like, I don't know what that's what it is. Recreating most viral Free Fire videos. Okay. Is it? Oh, it is Fortnite. So, man, I don't know what is going on. There's so many things. Okay, so Free Fire videos. I get it. Recreating most viral Free Fire videos. So this is 147,000 views in 2 weeks. I don't know why you submitted it, man, but I got nothing to give you. Like, it's working for you. Yeah, you clearly know what you're doing. So I don't have much to offer in this. Like, I feel like any advice that I would give would stray away from what your audience wants. And 147,000 views is not something that I plan to mess up. So, yeah, congrats, though. I mean, it's working for you. Let's move back to non-gaming. I like the idea of this channel. Let's see how it does. Okay. All right, here we go. What do we got? Mods, I'm so sorry for not putting slow mode on there if it's not on. I can see that it's probably not. Edward Cullen, indie horror short. Scary Stories acting. Short horror film. Scary Stories acting. Ghosts. Late Night Candles. Horror film. Horror games. Ghosts. Creepy Pasta. Okay. Edward Cullen. Right. Okay, everybody's kind of thinking it's like a scary story. All right, let's see what we got. The Terror of the Late Night Bathroom Trip. Okay, so it is an indie film, like cinematic style, but it's Okay. All right, so what I got to say about this is I don't know what Nocturnia is, but it definitely makes me think of a game of some sort, and this little logo here definitely makes me think it's a game. So, like, these are just the context clues I have, and the situation kind of looks like you're making a scary story, right? But, okay, so by the way, it's his channel logo, I guess, which I always recommend not putting in thumbnails because it gets in the way. But if it's not in the way, it's fine. It's just like some people think it's good for branding, but it's not. In my opinion, it's not great as a first impression of something. If I see it, I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm just assuming it's a game, and it wasn't. So, anyway, all that aside, I haven't helped you yet. So, this Nocturnia thing looks like a game logo, but in your video, you have this one shot that really stuck out to me that I thought was hilarious. That would be great for a thumbnail. If you had a shot of, like, I guess, let me just assume that it's your daughter or something. If you had a shot of you or your daughter scaring you in that situation, the angle here doesn't like make for a good thumbnail, so it might be something that you want to think of ahead of time. But like you dealing with her in that situation it's a lot funnier than this kind of thing. And you can make it all scary or whatever, but it poses a situation that makes me want to click. Whereas you searching in the dark doesn't. But if there's like something that I don't know what it is, I have to click to see what it is, I think that would help. It ends by him putting her to bed, I believe. Yeah, so hopefully that helps a little bit. Like if you had, there was like a image of her like looking super scary in there. I would focus on that sort of thing where they have to click to understand what's going on in the video. Because this, I just thought, like, okay, it's another dude playing a game. Yeah. It's just not enticing enough, you with the cell phone. So, yeah. I mean, you make your indie films, a lot of things won't be recognizable to people. So, it's kind of one of those things you have to make it a situation that invites the click, that makes them want to click. Okay, number 47... on gaming. If you're seeing things in the darkness, like I saw the frame of the door, and if you had like a little bit of an outline of like, say she was like sitting with her arms wrapped around her knees, like in the back of the bathroom, and you can kind of see it in the thumbnail, you would probably have to backlight her a little bit if you could get that picture. So everything's dark, and you have a little bit of light bouncing in front of the door frame. So you have the frame perfectly centered in the thumbnail, and in the back of your bathroom, you have her backlit. So it's just like her outline. I think that is the kind of thing that I'd be like, what is that? I want to click to see what that is. That's kind of where my head's at with the concept, but you can take that and do what you will with it. Just all about that psychology, man. I wish I was better at it. we all should take a psych class together. All right. I think this one might be pretty obvious. Here we go. Ba-da-dun-dun-dun-dun. Boodle-dee-dee-dee-boo. Five Nights at Freddy's. Somebody said, can I center myself? Do I not look... What's wrong? Do I not look centered? We got a problem here? Alright, we got Fortnite. It's bothering me now. I mean, that is centered on the OBS's. Okay. GTA. Okay. All right. Arrows. I see no arrows. Perfect. Oh, yeah. A little more to the right. Just okay. All right. Fortnite Battle Pass. Look, y'all, I think we got some Fortnite action here. So I think it is, right? That that is Fortnite. It looks... If this isn't Fortnite, then all games look the same to me. I should be upside down. All right, I'll do that next time. All right, so yeah, I just used a hotspot to get my first earnings. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. I guess I understand what's going on here. I really love the make of this. Like, you clearly put a lot of work into it, man. I like it a lot. I don't know if it's coming across well that it's you. I used a hotspot to get my first earnings. You know, maybe it's the title that I don't. I don't know, man. Maybe it's the title that's not really popping for me. To get my first earnings, like, do you make money on Fortnite? Is that what's going on here? Fortnite Cash Cup tournament gone wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can or not. Like, I really like it, but so this says, oh no. I don't know if he's losing signal. If that's what he's saying, oh no about, then I would probably make sure that that's apparent on the screen. Like, you could even put a little UI of like a Wi-Fi route. Yeah, exactly. So you show the like wireless router hotspot thing. Yeah, because I don't know. I don't really understand what's going on with this. I think if you did that, it's just the concept I don't get. So your skills are awesome. For aesthetically, it's great. I just don't get it. Hopefully that helps a little bit, and you can probably edit this a little bit to show the Wi-Fi signal or whatever. And if you do make money on Fortnite, then whatever the UI is that shows how much you've earned, that is also a really powerful thing to show in thumbnails. This money is in game, so I don't necessarily understand if that is like real money or whatever. And if it's not, then like it's its own stakes. I won Cash Cup using bad internet. See, that makes sense to me. That's a great concept, great title. I get it now. But yeah, so I used a hotspot to get my first earnings. Yeah, I would change that title up, and I think that this might help it a little bit. Hopefully that helps you. It's just the concept I would change. All right. Oh, let me close that out. We're gonna do non-gaming. Playing Fortnite with no internet. Oh, this is... Oh, man. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is such a good thumbnail, in my opinion. Dirtball! Like, it tells the story, man. It really does. I love it. This to that. Yep. Pretty solid. Turning dirt into a scam. That's good. That's really good. Something about sustainability. Oh, I could see that. Yeah, I get that. A dirt ball making money from dirt. Textures. Yep. All right. Poo polish. All right. Yeah. So the dirt ball thing, I think it's because I know what this is. I've seen it before, that it's like so obvious to me. And some people not knowing what it is, it makes me wonder if there's a way that we could make it more obvious. And I'm sure if you look up dirt ball, it has the word dirt with an arrow pointing at it. But as far as this thumbnail, like, it tells the exact story that I think it needs to. I mean, I don't know what I would change here, really. Dirt, and then I turned it into this and made $100. Like, it's pretty easy to understand. I spent over 100 hours turning a dirt ball into a shiny ball. Okay, so you didn't focus on the money in the title, but you did in the thumbnail. So if you made $100, that's crazy. But if you didn't, then it would be just fine to do 100 hours in there. But what you got right now, it shows it. there's a lot more curiosity involved, so I wouldn't change much about it. Great thumbnail. Okie doke, moving back to gaming. We're gonna speed this up just a tad. Yep, here we go. Get ready. I don't know what I'm looking at, honestly. Sorry. Roblox. Okay, yeah, it's Roblox. I'm not sure what it is. We've got, like, Ultimate Souls RNG macro tutorial. Okay, it's a macro tutorial. I guess it's fine. I assume these heavenly things are something that people want a lot. So I would kind of make it a little more obvious. You could make them smaller in a bigger pile. That seems to work for many thumbnails. The macro itself, you could make it bigger, right? And you could get rid of this Era 9 macro thing at the top, because it's just like, here's the macro, here's the result that it gives you. You could have the free heavenlies text over here, and then like here's the pile and the macros on the left. The character in the back, I'm not sure it's adding much. It's you. I get it. It is what it is. I would say if you wanted to go completely away from what you've got going on, if you had the macro on screen like this and then you had a pile of heavenlies, I have no idea what I'm saying right now, but I'm just assuming from the context that makes sense. If you had this on screen and then you had the Roblox UI, everything just like this, and you had a pile of heavenlies over here, then it's clear. Your viewers would immediately understand what's going on. So that's what I would do. I hope that helps. If it doesn't, then tough. Moving back to non-gaming. I really think it would, though. Honestly, I think it would be super easy to understand. What is this? What kind of chant? Oh, okay. All right. Ready? Here we go. Okie doke. This is non-gaming, right? Right. Man. Nobody's guessing. There's just people asking about their profile. Okay. Bike chain, bike repair, something with BMX, prison escape, word. Roblox, nice. Cycle repairs, blue Gumby cop. Right, okay. Remember blue Gumby cop. this one right here, okay? That's the one that I'm like, oh, they saw what I saw, okay? All right, so, yeah, it's BMX related, bike related. Immediately, I saw blue Gumby right there. Like, I'll show you. I gotta break this out. Hold on. This is exactly what I saw, so you guys can get what I'm saying. All I saw was like this guy right here, and it's like he's his own character. And if you all know what Gumby is, then this makes a lot of sense. Now, the reason that I bring this up is because it's so big. I like the context of the biker there. It's okay. It makes sense in the context. It adds context to the broken chain. This is a BMX situation. But with the face so big, I didn't know that it was a BMX rider. It looked like Gumby to me. Man, I don't know if Gumby is so old that y'all don't know who he is, but it just looks like this shape, this guy. So that's all I saw, and it's just because this like surprised face is too much. You're doing too much on there. I don't even think you need broken chain on there. Maybe broken, but if you say broken, I would use a different font because it's just like you're complicating things. That said, if there's probably a better way to go about this, like if you had a broken chain on your bike, you probably have footage of it. And so having the bike surrounded by the chain adds enough context that it's BMX. I broke the chain, but that might not create enough curiosity for people to want, okay, you broke your chain, big deal. What happened when you broke your chain? All right. So failing a jump gone wrong. All right. So that might be interesting to some people, but if you broke your neck, then that's something to feature. That's something like the broken chain equals broken neck or something like that. Like that's the kind of thing that you want to focus on. So whatever the most interesting aspect of you breaking the chain is, like what happened because of it, that's something you'll probably want to include in your thumbnail instead of all this stuff you got going on. Okey-doke. Let's move back to gaming. Gaming. Going low. Well, middle. Broken chain equals broken neck. All right. And we got another. Here we go. I feel like I'm being a hater. It's not anybody's fault. It's a popular game. It just it just is. Oh man. Yeah, y'all, it's Roblox. It is. Yeah, hey, Roblox Random Weapon Challenge. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Wheel of weapons, and then you got all these weapons that's totally obvious, and then you've got all these weapons over here. I think the tough thing about this is that the background is dark and your character is dark, so I didn't really make the... I couldn't distinguish between the two because you're wearing the mask, right? If you didn't have the mask or the helmet or whatever you'd call it, then it would be immediately obvious that it's a character there. But with all that darkness in the foreground, in the background, in front of the weapons, it kind of it clutters it up a little bit. So I would recommend doing something about that. I like the wheel; it's essential. I like the weapons. So those are the two things you definitely want to keep. Wheel of weapons might not necessarily be like you might not need it because it's pretty obvious. When you have weapons and a wheel, and the weapons are written on the wheel, it's pretty obvious. Yeah, so a jailbreak with a weapon wheel. Okay. Dude, this... Hold on. Like, if you had your... Man, I'm going to give the same advice, honestly. If you had this and your gameplay together, like if you took like a square and you drew it over here, and then you had your gameplay in the background of something epic happening. So you have the gameplay that people will recognize, and you have the wheel of weapons with all these weapons on the right. I would try to feature something like that, because I think people would immediately get it and click. But, yeah, if you wanted to improve this one, honestly, I would get rid of wheel of weapons on the top, and I would either change the background or remove your character. But removing your character might not connect people to Roblox, so... I'll definitely brighten up that background just a tiny bit. Okie doke, moving back to non-gaming. Let me close this. 115, the very last person that submitted. If you know who you are, congratulations. Do 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 do. Okay, all right. Let's see what this is. All right, what do we got? Let's get some guesses. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-boo-doo. Something hidden, I would say so. It said it right on the thumbnail. Hard to read the numbers. Yeah, there's a bit of an issue with the font we got here. Oh yeah, that's bad. Okay, stealth camping in truck at 1100 feet. All right, hide and seek in game. Stunt driving. Okay. Exploring a hidden hole. That's kind of what I thought. All right, so we got a truck on a cliff, and we've got hidden at. Okay, so these are 1s, and this is a 7, I think. But without the 1s, I would think that was a 1. So just keep in mind, I Legendary Trails that this font is no good. You definitely change the font. Yeah, because this is really hard to read. I think you probably didn't need the drop shadow behind it because it was going to pop off that blue pretty well anyway, especially with the outline you had. But I think my biggest problem with this is the concept. I don't understand what's going on hidden at that amount of feet. So I thought something was in this valley that's hidden. Let's see what it is. Discover the secret trail in San Juan's that nobody knows about. Okay. All right, so you're going for like the 1-2, the thumbnail plus title makes it all make sense combo, and that's okay. Sometimes that's fine. I just for this game it just doesn't help because the reason that we do this 2-second test is because that's about the amount of time that people give you when they're scrolling through, and so if they see your thumbnail and it doesn't make sense or it doesn't pop out to them. Then they'll just scroll right on by. So hopefully this helps you know a little bit of what you need to change. First, the font for sure, but the concept, I just don't get it. So two things could change this. First, the picture could change and you could actually show this trail with some text like nobody knows this or nobody's been here or like secret trail or something with an arrow pointing at the trail. That could work, but yeah, you could change the text in this picture to make more sense. An arrow pointing wherever that trail is, like if it's right here. Something written that is more interesting than hidden at this amount of feet. I don't know if the altitude is super interesting for the trail itself. The word secret that nobody knows about, that's what you really, really want to focus on. So yeah, hopefully that was a lot of info. I would just take it back to the drawing board and see what you could find in the video. Sorry, I was thinking of hiking, but this is like driving trail. Okay, so this is, man, if you could show more height on this, this is like this makes a lot more sense, like nobody knows about this trail kind of idea. This right here shows the trail. I would kind of focus on something like this is great right here. This is fantastic. I wish it was like there was more context on it, but yeah, hopefully these tips help you out a little bit. Yeah, you got a lot of good stuff here to work with. So anyway, let's move back to gaming. Just try to focus on what would really make somebody want to figure out, why is that trail secret? Like nobody knows about this trail. Why? Why is it here? Why does it exist if nobody knows about it? Why is it so secret? Nobody's been here for thousands of years. That would be interesting. Okay, here we go. Gotta zoom in because it's a small thumbnail. Here we go. Oh, man. Okay, what do we got? There's so much going on. Something to do with Predator, Family Guy mod, and Five Nights at Freddy's. I am pretty sure. Nope. Okay, glitchy game challenge. Couldn't even guess. Can you check mine? No. Friday Night Funky learning. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Friday Night Funky. I've seen that a couple times. People know what's going on here. All right, so the title's Peter Griffin looks a lot different from what I remember. And I'm pretty sure this is the game. But there's no... Okay, I see what's going on here. So there's no way that I would have known that unless I was searching for it, right? So you're appealing to people that exist in this audience, but anybody coming from outside, they don't know what this character is. And I assume that's a character in the game. So just a heads up, you don't have it written in the title. You don't have like a logo or anything. You don't have anything on the thumbnail itself that lends to it being a game, which you could have a logo, you could have the title on it, or you could have the UI with the little letters and numbers. But if this dude is popular enough that a lot of people know about it, then just ignore what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, so that's just a layman coming in and just saying, I'm not sure what it is, but some people did know what it was. So yeah, I would probably just add it in your title a little bit, just for those who are searching for this kind of content. Just, yeah, that's probably what I would change about the packaging as a whole. Well, you know, you might not need to, but what I would think would be a great thumbnail is you're dealing with this. It's like zoomed in everywhere, and I want to see like the whole screen. So you probably have access to that. But say your character's right here. This is Peter Griffin, maybe a more obvious picture of him, but within the game, and then you're reacting. That would be a really good thumbnail in my opinion. So like you're on the right, and then Peter Griffin in the game over here on the left doing something crazy. Yeah, because you're like you have a lot of great reaction faces in this. You could work with any of that stuff. So that's kind of what I would do. If you have an A/B test of that working out, then I would assume that one would probably do a little bit better. But yeah, like the me stuff, if people know that this is the character that you play in the game, then the me and the arrow, you're wasting space to explain something. Because like you're not, unless you can play as Peter, I don't know. I might be wrong on that. But anyway, that's what I would do. Okay, moving back to non-gaming. Sorry, I'm trying to get as much as I can out of these. Let me hide it. Number 80. Out of these streams. Oh, we've already picked his. Number 66. All right, this one is pretty obvious, I'd say. All right, what do we got? Damn. 5 reasons to play AAU. Nailed it. Okay, it's pretty obvious. Like it says it in the thumbnail itself. 5 reasons to play AAU. Why you should play AAU in travel sports. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure like how poppin' this niche is in general. Like it's or this topic at least, unless people are searching to play here. Like this is totally out of my league, but I wonder if there's a better way to go about this. So what I'd recommend is like, man, I don't know if this will even pop up anything, but 5 reasons to play, and then you type other college name or college basketball just to see what pops up. I would assume that they showed like the entire, they would show more imagery than just one person. So I'm assuming that this dude is like recognizable. But in the context of like playing a game, like this is master these 5 skills for basketball. This kind of thing just it looks so much more professional to me than this blackboard background or chalkboard background. Like I would try to do something a little bit more like that. And if there's something like impressive about AAU, I'm assuming this is a college thing. If there's like an impressive place or their court or something like that, I think that would be really, really cool to feature in the background. You would need to add outlines probably to your words here, just to make them pop off of any background that you've got going on. Because you chose a flat background, it's easy to do with these, except your drop shadow almost kind of hurts the contrast you have jumping into the green. So I would definitely recommend changing that background, and then you might need to add some outlines to your letters to make it pop. Pop! Okay, moving back to gaming. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, that's a live. Can't do a live. Gaming, here we go. Waiting for that thumbnail to load. Bam, bam. Here we go. Oh, it's a little too small. 1 second. Okay, this is kind of obvious. Roblox. Yeah. Switch to release date. I would say that's dead on. Everybody kind of picked that up. So what I'm not so hot about this one is like there's a lot going on in this. It's just like there's so many elements. Samus 2025, Mario. Then you have the Nintendo Switch with a 2. Then you have the Switch itself, and then you have a background that kind of doesn't really match what's going on. I would just go and check out what else is going on to kind of lead you in a direction. Nintendo's release date. That's what I would do. I mean, I would assume that they're going to show at least one game. Yes, some of these aren't even showing games, but yeah, these are just so clean. So what you see in here, like these are simple. You have like a Switch, and then you have some words, and then you have the Switch 2 thing that's pretty obvious, and then the background is blurred. It's just like I mean, I would just work on contrast, I guess. Making the Switch a little bit smaller would help. Like they did, I think was fine. This one lets negative space on top and bottom, so you could put your 2025 up there or whatever. I mean, these are just so clean. I really, really like this one. This one's stretched all across. There's no characters actually, but the Switch logo with a 2 really, really pops. So I would try to do one like that. You just have a lot going on, and when you have a lot, like all these fireworks and stuff, it's so busy, it's hard to see past them, right? So if you put something in front of something that's super busy and moving, it's like it's hard to even look at. So if you put the Nintendo Switch right here on a flat background, you would immediately see it. It would be fine. And that's why their thumbnails work so well, because like everything that they're using is just kind of like color gradients. This one, yeah, they're all kind of color gradients, I guess, especially this one. It just kind of pops off the flat back. So I would try something a little more like that. If you want to feature characters, yeah, you can. I mean, some of them do, but they do it on the Switch, or this one's in front of it. That one's probably a little more complicated, but that one also doesn't say release date, so I'm not sure. That's just like a leak. Anyway, yeah, it's just really, really complicated. I would avoid using this picture altogether with Mario. Maybe something a little less busy if you want to use gaming. Anyway, I end up repeating myself sometimes towards the end of these streams because I'm like, been going at it for a while. All right, move back to non-gaming. Oh no, we're doing questions. We'll do one more and then we'll do questions. Okay. All right, 116. I've seen this dumpster. Oh, well, it's dumpster diving. That's what it is. So let's just take a look at it then. All right, it's an outlier for them. Dumpster diving. Okay, it's pretty obvious, like when you write it in the thumbnail, and that's just generally interesting to people to see what you got. But like I said before, featuring something that you found that's like super valuable. Oh yeah, like this. Sorry, I was thinking of something like treasure, but no, this is valuable if you're like jumping in trash cans and you find all this free soda or whatever. Yeah, so you kind of did it right. I would just kind of make it more obvious. With a background like that, it's almost hard to know what to look at. Your arrow is black too. It doesn't really pop as much. So I would kind of focus on the items themselves, and I would blur that background to help just a little bit. Yeah. Maybe there's a different image in this that really, really pops. I'm sure there is. Like, these top downs are really, really cool. Yeah, so I would try to work around and see which images you like. It looks like you kind of put some things together here, but it's just a little busy is all. It's nice to see that you focused on the treasures, though. Yeah, I really like this angle. Like, you can see the full cart of stuff that you got. That's really cool. Yeah, so I would focus on kind of trying to find like a really, really good screen cap and making that pop as much as you possibly can, because it's real. But when you have stuff like this, you end up with like some busyness going on. So yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. Yeah, and also when you do that, it like the perspective, it's mismatched. But people seem to like this, so definitely stay on the trajectory that you're going. Okay, we are doing questions. That was my water cap. Okay. Hey, Abby Goals for Health became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Abby Goals for Health. Eddie Groom is... Eddie Groom Essentials became a YouTube member. Is that the... That's the same profile picture. Am I tripping? That's the same profile picture. Anyway, what editing software do you use, and does vidIQ use OBS for live streams? I use OBS. Some people, we use StreamYard, but I use OBS outside of StreamYard to do like all my stuff that I want to do. Yeah, so that's how we do that, and I use Premiere to edit. If I were to recommend something for a beginner, I wouldn't pick Premiere though. I would pick DaVinci. I also bought DaVinci, and it's the way that it's growing, I could see it being huge. So yeah, DaVinci is that's what I really love. But I use Premiere because I'm better at it. Bam, 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 bam. Have you loaded up PS 2025? Or are you slumming it with 2024? Still. Have you loaded up PS 2025? I don't know what that means. Sorry. I don't know what that means at all. Oh, Photoshop. Sorry, we were just doing the... I don't know. What do we got here? How do I even look at it? Photoshop help? No. I can't remember how to look at it. I think... I don't know, dude. Probably 2024 still. I think I just got the Premiere AI update, like the beta version, to see what the generated the AI. Okay, hold on, I'll show you. It's hard to explain, but basically Premiere came out with this thing where you could extend video with AI, video that doesn't exist. Okay, and so that's what I did. And you can only do it 2 seconds at a time. But if you take that video that you made and put it back into Premiere, you can extend that 2 more seconds, then export it, and then do it again and again and again. And that was the first thing I wanted to do to see what it would look like. And I swear I'll find it for you, but it is the most ridiculous thing. I called it Freddy because it was Freddie Mercury. It is, I gotta say, I didn't know what to expect, but it was something for sure. Give me another question while I find this, and then I'll show you all. Is Photoshop worth it? I think it is. If you're aiming for long term, I don't think that Adobe is going down anytime soon. But yeah, I think it is. But I also know how to use it. Okay, so I might be a little bit biased. Anyway, this is what Freddie Mercury looks like. The very first 2 seconds are they are real, and then from there on, it's all AI, and it turns into like the cell shading thing. Look, real, and then AI, more AI, more AI. So yeah, after a while, I'm like, okay, that's kind of useless. I guess if you really want to extend just a tiny bit, it does work. That was the point. I just don't think that the AI video generation in Premiere is gonna suit me much. Okay, another question. Are you a DaVinci Resolve user? No, I love DaVinci Resolve and I bought it, but I use Premiere. Okay, do multiple hashtags bring more views? I don't think so. Even YouTube themselves have said that the hashtags don't do much, but it does help immediately for new channels. As soon as they put out a new video, it does use them initially to get some metadata on what this channel's kind of about, but from there on, once it kind of understands, it just uses it for people that misspell things. So I don't think that hashtags do much outside of that very first time. Ooh, yeah. Okay, my best performing video is the one where I put no effort in the thumbnail. Well, yeah, my best performing video is the one where I put no effort in the thumbnail at all. Welcome to the freaking club, man. I've spent months on videos before, and the one that I spend the least amount of time on, it always does best. Same thing with thumbnails. And dude, I think with thumbnails, it's just because it's an easy thing to understand for you, and you put it out there, and when it's easy for you to understand, you don't overcomplicate it. It's easy for everybody else to understand. It's ridiculous. That's how it goes. How can I add a thumbnail to a short? Your tutorial doesn't work on my Samsung Galaxy S. Okay, I have a Samsung Galaxy S. I have an Ultra. Anyway, basically when you upload like the very last screen on the short, you'll see a little box that shows the picture of your video, and that's the thing you click, and then you can add a thumbnail. You'll just scroll through the short. I think that's how it still is. I haven't uploaded a short on my channel for a while, but yeah, that little box that shows right before you finally upload it, if you click on it, you can like change the shot of the screen, and that's a thumbnail. Anyway, hopefully that helps. I hope it's still that same way. Ba-bow. Is it crazy that I make all my thumbnails with my phone? No, I think it's awesome. And I think that phones are getting better, and the simpler the better. Like, if you can make it on your phone, great. Fantastic. I recommend it. What specs do I look for in a video editing laptop? Easiest editor on my phone to trick people. I'm good in the meantime. Thank you for the... Oh, okay. So... for a laptop, I ended up getting like a... Dude, I don't know. I really don't. I had to ask some other friends of mine, and I got something sort of good with a graphics card that was like a 3070, RTX 3070. I know that it's way more now, like, possible. Having a laptop has been pretty convenient, but it does have its limitations. I would recommend asking a friend. I'm just so terrible with, like... hardware, I guess. But yeah, I ended up getting 16 gig RAM, and that is a bottleneck for me now. It's really bad. My big edits are super slow. Editor on your phone to trick people in the meantime. I don't edit on my phone, but I know that like Premiere has a Rush version if you're an Adobe subscriber. I would assume that that's okay to use. A lot of people use CapCut on their phone. And a lot of people complain about CapCut because they made all the good features premium, so you have to pay for it. I don't know. I wish I could help more in the phone area. i7 RTX 3060 8 gig RAM minimum. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's the minimum. All right, mine is like slightly above that at the 3070 and 16 gig RAM, and it does me just fine. It's a Razer. I got it in Germany. All the keys are German. Okay. I take a screenshot of one of my video frames after cropping it in for a thumbnail. Are better options than this? I take a screenshot of one of my video's frames after cropping it for my thumbnail. Are there better options than this? Yes. Editing thumbnails. Oh, dude. You're doing... Okay, I know who you are. Okay, yeah, so however you're recording... your footage, because you're a gamer, like if you're recording it through OBS, you can take screenshots through OBS, or you can take screenshots on your computer. If you're only recording everything through your phone, then that's probably where you're going to be a little bit limited. So like I said, if you're wanting to make those images sharper, then using a software to do that can help. If you're only using your phone, you can click edit on your phone, and there should be some options to make things sharper, brighter, all that stuff. So if you're just limited to your phone, it still has tools that you can do that on. And they're getting better. They even have AI now. Next question, please. Bam. Oh, it is time to go. Sorry, guys. All right. Yep, that's it. That's it for this one. Yeah, thanks for coming, and we will see you next time. Woo! All right, see you guys.